Hi, welcome to Theater Crafts, where we take theater memorabilia and we make brand new treasures. Okay, so we're going to do something a little different today. Today we're going to make paperclip pen holders. All right, let me show you. So here is a pen holder that it's also a paperclip. So you can unclip it. You see on the back, there is a paper clip there. So you can attach this to a script, a notebook if you want to take notes in rehearsal. Maybe you want to stage door and you want to get autographs from some of your favorite performers. So I'm going to show you today how to make them. All right, so let's get crafting. So let's take a closer look at these pen holders. So if you take a look here, on the reverse side there is the paper clip. So the paper clip will clip right into, so I have a cardboard piece here. You take that and you clip it right onto your cardboard or your notebook or whatever it is. And then you can take your pen and you can hook your pen into the elastic here. Now I'm going to say these elastics are a little bit big, so I would recommend making them a little bit smaller, and I'll show you that when we actually create them. So you can see I've used a variety of elements here. So this one, these are directly out of programs. So I'm going to show you the programs that. So if you take, just a traditional program, like this. In the back of the programs they have, sometimes have you seen these shows? That's what I did for that. It's this one and this one are both right from the programs. So that's pretty cool. And then you see like the other side. So this one had Anne Juliet and it had Cabaret in the back. So that's that. These two were fabric that I have that is theater related fabric, and then I just embellished that, and so I've used this fabric for a variety of projects, and so I thought that was kind of cool. This one I used just regular scrapbooking paper, but the 6 I had this they were postcards, and I took, you can see right there, 6, and I took that and I put it on a piece of our cardboard, and then just used some foam foam adhesive to put it onto the piece here. This one here is a book on Shakespeare. And then this happened to be an embellishment that I had, and again some other embellishments that I had in my stash. And this one is a playbill. It's just the cover of a playbill, and I thought that would be kind of fun to make a paperclip holder. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to clear the space, and I'll show you how to make them. So here we have some of the elements. So you can use cardboard. So I'm going to be honest, this is cardboard that's right out of my cat food container. So you can use anything, literally. Like I actually have here, you can use like, a box like this, and then just use the back of it. You could use a box like this. So the chipboard that you're using, this happens to be just kind of blank, but literally it's right out of the cat food container that I use for my cat. I'm actually going to use this is just kind of adhesive, so I'm going to use that, but you could use a glue stick if you wanted. For this, these are the adhesive, foam adhesive, and but again, you can use glue sticks if you'd like. You need a little piece of elastic, and that's so that you can, remember, attach your pen to your holder, your paper clip holder. And then any sort of, like, what are you going to use for your kind of base for your design? So if you remember this one here, I actually used Shakespeare text. So this is a book that I have that is kind of a lot of pages are missing and it's ripped, so I use it for projects. And so I thought I'd do another Shakespeare one. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take pages out of here, and then I have all these Shakespeare stickers. I thought it'd be kind of fun to pick one. I'm probably going to just pick maybe one of these and put that Shakespeare sticker on the book, the paperclip holder. Now, how you decorate it is totally up to you. You can use, glitz, you can use glitter, you can use rhinestones, you can paint it, you can use markers. There are so many options here, so feel free to use your imagination for this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our cardboard here. So, oops, forgot to tell you I need scissors. So I'm going to actually cut this. Hang on, I need my ruler. Oops, here it is. Sorry, it got buried. So I'm actually going to measure this out. You can make it any size you want. And in fact, if you notice, the ones that I did were different sizes here. And like I said, you can use trims of any sort. Be creative. All right, now I know that I want to use one of these stickers, so I think I might, how big is that? Let's see. So maybe I'll make it 2.5 inches. So literally just going to make some marks here and then cut this. Now, you can always adjust it, so no need to worry. It's not rocket science. You can adjust as you need. And then I'm just going to cut this out like that. And again, we're going to adjust this. We're going to make it work for our design, and you'll see in a moment. So now I'm going to fold this in half. Now, I'm going to say I found that, with the chipboard, it's a little tricky, but don't worry about it because you're going to cover it. Okay, so don't panic like you see the bends here. All right, so I'm going to kind of, there we go. I'm actually going to take, this is my Cricut tool. I'm actually going to make sure that it's really creased well. You could use anything. You could use the back of the scissors if you want, or credit card or whatever. But I just want to make sure it's creased really well. And then you may have to trim it a little bit if it's not exact. So again, you can kind of play with it, whatever works for you. Okay, so there we go. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take out a page in the book. So I kind of want it to be mostly text. I don't, you want to have something that has, if it has like spaces, it doesn't look as good. So we'll take, there we go, literally just going to pull this right out of the book. I know this feels wrong to do this to a Shakespeare text. All right. So see how that kind of fits nicely. I actually kind of like the fact that like on the spine here is where the column is. Now, keep in mind, now it's going to sound weird, this here is the edge. So if you notice, oops, sorry, I just dropped my scissors. The edge, I know it seems kind of weird. So this is the edge here, the fold part. Okay, so by that, so that means when we do this, this is the side that we're going to see. I hope that makes sense. All right, so I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a guide here to cut. Sorry, I dropped my scissors. You could certainly put this, glue this on first and then cut it out. Okay. All right. Now I will trim the edges. No need to worry about that. but I want to make sure that I've got the spine, like I said, kind of where I want it. So I'm going to take my glue here. Again, this is the glue adhesive, but you can, like I said, you can use a glue stick. You could use, you could use white glue or Mod Podge or something like that too. You just want to be careful because of the paper, that you're not doing too much so that it wrinkles it. All right, so let's see what we got there. I don't know which side do I like. I think I like this side better. All right, so I'm going to put, again, I'm going to put the kind of the spine right in the middle there. All right, and then flatten that out, and then I'm going to trim it. Okay. Now the next part, what we're going to do is, or in a moment, we're going to actually sew it. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, you can certainly still do this. I don't want you to panic about that. You could actually just glue it. Maybe use a hot glue gun and glue it. Now, we're going to, like I said, we need our elastic. And we're going to have to put our elastic, and we're going to put it in where the spine is. Again, let me show you here. So if you see, I cut a hole in the spine here. That's where that's going to go. So I have a knife. You want to be very careful. Notice I put a tile down here just to protect my surface. And I'm just going to cut a hole right in the middle here, right through all the layers. Okay, no, it didn't go all the way through, so you want to really, okay, that did. Now don't panic about some of the elements there, being torn up. We're going to fix that later. Now, I found when I was doing these that it's easier to put it in from behind the elastic. Okay, like that. So you want to keep it relatively small. I found that if you make it too big, or if it's too flimsy, I'm going to say that the ones that I made before I felt were a little bit too flimsy. That the elastic, and let me show you what I mean by that, that this is too thin here. So I actually prefer the thicker elastic. So we might want to just check this to make sure that that fits. Okay. Even make it a little bit tighter. Now, on the inside, let me show you what we're going to do here. I'm going to cut this off, that excess. I also found that I'm going to cut a piece that's a little bit smaller than this. And you'll see why in a moment. Okay. And this one, don't be like particular about the way this is. It's just going to be on the inside. And the way we're going to do this is, remember, this here is the front. So we're going to actually sew, and I'm going to sew this piece on the inside. We're going to sew across here, right here. Okay, that's going to secure this elastic in place, but I'm adding this piece of chipboard just as a kind of to make it a little bit more solid. And you'll see, like with these, they're pretty solid. They're pretty sturdy. Some of them are sturdier than, like, that's pretty sturdy. And even though, like, this is paper, but it's got some weight to it so that it will be sturdy when you're using it over and over again. Okay, so we're going to take this, we're going to sew. This is the front, remember. We're going to sew here, right across here. So I'm going to bring it to the machine and we're going to go sew it, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I'm at the sewing machine, and again, here is the paper clip holder here. Okay, and I've got the paper, remember, on the back. So I'm actually going to put this right under here. Oops, sorry, I just hit my camera. All right, and I'm going to backstitch just a smidge. All right, and I'm just going to go straight forward. You take your time with it. I am going to go back and forth over the elastic just to make that nice and secure. And then backstitch again at the end. Now let's see if I grabbed it. Okay, so I grabbed it a little bit. As long as you've grabbed it a little bit, you're good. If not, you can always, attach it afterwards. It's really okay. Right now I'm just clipping my threads. Okay, all right, so here it is. We've got this secured in, and it's, as long as it's attached, we're good. So now I'm going to fold it in half, and we're going to sew. Now remember, this is the pen side. We're going to sew around, sorry, my fingers are so close to the camera, around the edges here. So I'm going to start on this side, and we're going to sew all the way around. Now again, take your time. You know, the machine may not like going through the cardboard, but just take your time with it. Now, like I said, you don't have to sew it. You can glue it if you'd like. That would work as well. I actually think adding the sewing adds another level of detail to it. You can even do a zigzag stitch. Might be kind of nice too. I'm a fan of that. I've done that before too. And back stitch. Okay. All right, so there we go. All right, so that is stitched together. Now, it's really important that you do not stitch on this side because we still have to put the paper clip in there, and that's what I'm going to show you next. So now, all it's about is embellishing. So you've got the basics here. So as you see here, we've got the elastic, we've got the pen holder, okay? And next we got to add, we're going to add some embellishment. So I've got some Distress Oxide. I'm just going to kind of distress the edges a little bit. It also helps to cover the fact that you've got the cardboard there, so it makes it look deliberate. Now, if it didn't line up perfectly, you can also, at this point, you can trim it, and that would be fine too. And I'm just going to add some there too. The other side as well, just because you do see the back side when you're putting it in your book or your script or whatever it is you're doing. And this is a great option for putting it on your script so that you always have something to write with. Take your notes, or in a notebook for taking notes in rehearsal. That would be really cool. Or a script that you're reading. So now it's all about embellishing. So let me see what we want to do. Is that too big? Let me see what this one looks like. All right, I think I'm going to use this one for our image. So now these are actually stickers. I love that I've got these stickers that are, Shakespeare stickers. So I'm going to take this backing off, which is probably going to be the hardest part of this whole project. Take the backing off. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. And I'm going to put it on a piece of the cardboard just to give it a little bit of stability. All right, I'll make sure that that's on there nice and securely. And then I'm going to cut this out. Again, just want to give it some strength when you're adding it onto the cover, because especially if you're going to use this bookmark or this a paper clip for a period of time, you want it to be solid. All right, let's trim that a little bit more. Okay. All right. So now it's all about embellishing. So I think I have this paper that I thought would be kind of cool to put on here. And I'm going to rip it. So it's got, look at this like beautiful like edge to it. I think that's really kind of awesome looking. So I'm going to try and see if I can rip it into kind of a square. We'll see. A little knobby thing on the end there. Let me see how that looks. All right, that's kind of cool. So I thought I would put this on here, and then we can add the image on top of that, like that. All right, so you can add this in any way or adhere it in any way. I'm actually going to use my glue here. See how that works. And I didn't do it all the way to the end because I actually like the fact that it's kind of sticking out a little bit. I think that's really cool. There you go. All right, so then we can add Shakespeare on top of that. Now, you know, there are so many options here. Like I said before, you can add trim along the edge. I did that on this one. So, you know, if you wanted, I did that like on the back here. You could certainly do that if you wanted. It's totally up to you. I forgot, I'm going to add my paper clip in the back here. So these are the large paper clips. They're really jumbo size. And you're going to take your paper clip and you're going to put it in that hole where the hole you made for the elastic. Now, that's why it was important that we didn't sew there, because you need to be able to put your paper clip in there. Now, if you want, you could also add just a little bit of hot glue just to secure it. I didn't on mine, and they seem to work pretty fine. So it's totally up to you. It's your call on that one. All right, so let me just see. I have that trim that I used on this one. I have some of that here. Let me see if how that looks. You can decide if we want to add that. Oh, what do you think? It's kind of cool. And we add Shakespeare in the middle there. All right, so let me turn on my hot glue gun, and we'll add the trim. All right, so now that my glue gun is all heated up, I'm going to glue on the back. You know, you could glue on the front, but then in this particular case, it would cover up this really cool paper that I have in the front. So I'm going to do it on the back. But like I said, you can do the front. I did this one in the front. I did the and Juliet on the front as well. So it's totally up to you. You can design this any way that you'd like. So I'm literally just going to put a bead of glue across the back and then glue this baby down. And I'll trim the sides so you can determine how much you want going over the top there. I just kind of like it peeking out a little bit. And just cut there, cut here. Okay, doing the bottom now. Oops. What I like about this is it's so forgiving. You can really do no wrong here and be as creative as you like. Okay, just cut off the excess. Okay, now if you had, this is kind of thick, you know, if you had a much thinner, more pliable, you could actually go around the corners. This is not very pliable, so I'm not going to do that. All right, and then I'm just going to add this side. It also covers up the stitching in the back. You could also sew this by hand. I forgot to say that. Yeah, you could sew by hand if you wanted, just do stitches across. That's certainly something that would work and look really great as well. You know, you could do it with like embroidery floss or, like a wax thread, you know, for like bookbinding or something like that. That certainly would work. So like I said, you do whatever makes you happy. Now I'm going to do it along this side as well, just to make it a little bit more kind of cohesive. I'm going to go over the the paper clip here. I did that on the other one too, the Lion King one, and it doesn't really affect the use of the paper clip. You can see there that it does still work. So you just want to be careful, making sure it's not too thick, the trim that you're putting on, but in this particular case, it does work. So I'm going to include it. My kitty wants to be the star of every video. She's always so vocal. Maybe I will give her a little airtime at some point. Okay, and then cutting this off. Just adds to it, doesn't it? I love it. All right, so another thing that I was thinking, that I've got this scrapbook paper, and I thought it would be interesting to put Shakespeare on the scrapbook paper. So I'm going to put, I'm going to put some adhesive on the back, because remember we have the cardboard on here now. Put some adhesive on the back here, and just to raise them up a little bit, add a little bit more interest. You know, you can be as plain or as fancy as you'd like. Okay, there. Now, I thought, I've got these kind of really fun scissors. I thought I'd try cutting they're kind of reversed scallop. That makes sense. Let's see. Just adding, it's almost like a frame around it. I thought that was kind of cool. And, you know, you could do this with regular scissors too. It doesn't have to be, I'm literally using stuff that I have in my house. See, that's kind of fun. Adds a little bit of a frame to it. And then you can add this right onto your paper clip holder. Now I'm going to put on mine, I'm going to take these foam adhesive. They're very sticky. And I'm going to put them on the back. So here he is. I'm going to put them on the back here so that he is a little elevated in when it's on the paper clip holder here. All right, and then I'm just going to peel the backs off of these. Again, that's probably the most difficult part. And we'll add that right to the top. And you can use, like I said, you can use anything. You could put pictures of yourself in a show, or images of you know, Broadway people that you really like, or you could really make this personalized to your own taste. Okay, and then put that right on the top here and really push those down. And that's it. Look at that. I love it. I think it's so cute. So this is our Shakespeare book. And then you just take this, and there's the paper clip on the back there. And you put the paper clip on there, and then you take your pen, and you have a pen with you whenever you need it. All right, there you go. Let me pull them all out so you can see all of them, because they're pretty awesome. And depending on your style, hey, these are pretty special. There we go. Did I get them all? Oh, got Lion King down here too. And there we go. So there we have it. These really cool paperclip pen holders that you can use for your notebooks, for your scripts, when taking notes in rehearsal, whatever. So I hope you give it a try. Please let me know how you like it. And I look forward to crafting with you again next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.